welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and I thought we'd go ahead and, for this review, I thought we would go ahead and go to another film, back to another film starring the great Tom Hanks. Now, I did cover News of the World on my channel, which had Tom Hanks, but that was more of a dramatic western. Let's go to a comedy with Tom Hanks, released in my favorite year, my favorite decade, the 1980s. Specifically, the year I was born, 1989. So we're taking a look at a film which stars, obviously, Tom Hanks. Let me look at the back of the DVD. This stars Tom Hanks. He co-stars alongside Bruce Dern, Carrie Fisher, Rick DeMonco, and Corey Feldman from Imagine Entertainment, The Burbs. I watched this off of the Tom Hanks Comedy Favorites Collection. It actually came with a slip box, so yeah, I couldn't put the slip box up there, but it couldn't fit. So anyways, this, like I said, was released in 1989. It's directed by the great Joe Dante, Gremlins director. Made a comedy, though. So yeah, it also has a score by Jerry Goldsmith. So yeah, so what's The Burbs about? Well, The Burbs centers on a family. I want to say, it's sorry about that. It's set in suburban life. I got to pull up my wiki page so I can take a look at The Burbs really quick. Don't mind that. That's just my parents talking right now. Let me look at The Burbs really quick. Sorry about that, guys. I should have this prepared with me right now. I just want to see the location. We'll get to where's this set at again? No, it just says suburban home. I forget where it is. But anyways, yeah. The Burbs follows Tom Hanks. He plays Ray Patterson. I'm going to put that right there. He portrays Ray Patterson. He basically lives alongside with his wife. I can't think of the character's name. Carrie Fisher knows in it. Don't mind that, guys. I'm kind of Carol Patterson. So, not Patterson, Peterson. So, it follows Carol Peterson. Yeah, it follows Carol Peterson. No, let me explain that again. So, Ray and Carol are a couple that live with their son in the suburban area. So, their neighbor across the block is Bruce Dern. He portrays Mark Rumsfeld. I gotta tell you, Bruce Dern is funny in this movie. He plays a veteran. He's a Vietnam veteran, but he's like a guy that takes no crap from anybody. Like, in the beginning of the film, I'm going to show you the scene in a little bit, what I mean about his character. So, he's basically the veteran, but he's living with his wife, Wendy Scholar. If you've watched the Seth MacFarlane TV show American Dad, she's in that show as well. And she was also in another Dante film, Small Soldiers, which is also from Universal as well. But anyways, so basically, Feldman plays a sort of dimwit, and he basically he plays a dimwit, but he's like trying to, I don't want to say hit on his wife, Rumsfeld's wife, but at the beginning he's like, "Good morning, Lieutenant Rumsfeld, Mrs. Rumsfeld," something like that. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Rumsfeld, careful," when he just took and then he steps in the dog turd and says, "Gosh darn it." So he flips out water at the beginning of the film. So the scene I'm going to tell you right now is really good. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't block me for this, because I'm going to add this key scene right here. So I'll show you the key scene. Yeah, I'm going to show you the key scene right now, and you'll get why that's very funny. So be back in a bit after the key scene.
No, you're in there, old man. Listen up, mister. That piece of scum barking rat of yours is just taking his last dump on my lawn. I find one more, just one, I'm gonna catch him and staple his ass shut. But I don't know, right
now. Okay, I am now back. So yeah, the scene alone is just absolutely hilarious. So Rumsfeld flips out on the neighbor, and he's just goes ape crap. So if you've seen that scene, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyways, after that, he realized he's trying to basically trying to, yeah, you know, don't bother that, guys. I know the room is soundproof right now, but don't bother that, though. And, yeah, and just, yeah, so basically, we also introduced to Rick DeMonco's Art, who tries to help them out, though. So, in the scene, we see Art, Ray, and Rumsfeld decide to go investigate the crazy neighbors across the block. So, it's just, it goes all insane, and it's just interesting. So, Gale Gordon plays Walter the neighbor. Yeah, if you watch Lucy's show, you'll know who he is. But he both basically, yeah, the craziness happens there. So they go and investigate, and they realize both Art and Ray get hit with bees, and Rumsfeld comes with the water hose, and he starts spraying them like that, and then he trips and slips and falls on his rear end. And it's really just that funny of a scene, and that's what makes this movie good. So there's also a dream scene where he goes downstairs and tries to figure what's going on. So the chainsaw's going, and then all of a sudden he gets hit. He gets taken by the crazy suburban family. It's basically poking fun of suburban life. So he gets hit. He gets put on the grill, and he's like all scared and stuff. He's like panicking and just reacts to Walter and the dog, and then he gets chopped, and then he's there like panicking. He's like, oh god! Then we zoom to his like mouth. Then we see Ray watch an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which, funny enough, Tom Hanks was going to play the late Mr. Rogers in the biopic It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I found that just so weird that he was going to play Mr. Rogers and watching Mr. Rogers on TV. Yeah, so that's just crazy. So the wife suggests, why don't we just go in there and introduce ourselves? Why do I have this little lint on my hat? Whatever. Let's just bypass that. So they all go down there. The porch is a wreck. Rumsfeld falls down. He's like, here are the gosh darn brownies. So he just flips his crap. Those are the scenes that before Walter. So he goes in. He's like, Rumsfeld's like, boy, that just boils my rear end. He has the nicest lawn than mine. Because he likes to have his dog take a crap on my lawn. It says he flips out, though. It's crazy. So yeah, and then we're also introduced to another doctor. They go into the house. They meet the whole family and introduce themselves, and they've got a brother who's doctor who's portrayed by Henry Gibson, which Henry Gibson is, yeah, he was from Rowan Martin's Laugh-In, and if you grew up in the 90s like I did, he was a grouchy neighbor in the Rocket Power animated series for Klasky Csupo. So he was in that as well. So he plays the crazy doctor. So basically, they go investigate. Then they find this femur, this bone. Ray and Art find the femur and the bone. They pick up the bone. It's like, this is a femur. This is it's a human bone. And then it's like they scream like, ah! Then it zooms like that. Like the camera zooms. Joe Dante talk about a weird director. I just love his stuff. It's such a fun movie. I mean, there's so many scenes. I mean, I'm recommending this, but we'll get to that. And yeah, Corey Feldman's good. I forget to mention Corey Feldman's this doofus that there's one scene I did like in particular. Yeah, let me put that down a bit. Yeah, there you go. There's one scene in particular where Feldman's buddy is getting to meet Rumsfeld, and he's like, hey, where's this big assignment, man? I gotta get ready for work soon. And then he's like, hey, man, pee off. I also forgot to mention that Bruce Dern starred in a movie for Universal before this, and that was Family Plot from 1976. This would be his second film for the studio. I also forgot to mention that this movie was actually shot at the Universal Studios Hollywood backlot. In fact, the same house where he flips out that I showed you that scene, he flips out and he's like, yeah, I'll just say this way. They used the same house. It actually used the same set for the TV series Desperate Housewives. I wanted to kind of bring that up before I forgot. Some of the same places they also use for other Universal movies. As you can see, I'm wearing the Universal Studios hat because it was actually filmed at that backlot. So, yeah, I think I mentioned everything. The ending is great. There are a few special features. There's an alternate ending in a theatrical trailer. I want to talk about that alternate ending because I think this is where the alternate ending works. I think I like that one a lot better than its original ending. I thought the original ending got a little hokey. Also, Rance Howard appears as the cop near the end of the movie. So Hanks flips out on Art, blaming him for blowing up the house. I'm going to show you how it ends, but I kind of sort of gave that away. But I'm sure everybody's seen this movie before, so I couldn't really say that. But anyways, there's a scene where he's slipping out. So Rossio's holding Ray back, and the cop's holding Art back. So this was also done by Imagine Entertainment, which was Ron Howard and Brian Grazer's company. I don't know if Ron Howard had I thought Ron Howard produced the film. Let me go back and check. Really quick, guys. I'm sorry, but let me go check. Really quick. Yeah, Ron Howard produced the film as well. It is considered a cult classic, as most people will say, but I think it's just a classic. Forget the cult classic. This movie is so good from start to finish. It is extremely hilarious. So, is there any negatives I could say? Well, despite the ending kind of being kind of dumb, and I kind of wish they would have done the alternate ending instead, I think Joe Dante and the cast did a phenomenal job with this film. Tom Hanks is great, Bruce Dern is great, Carrie Fisher's awesome, Corey Feldman is really good. I think the movie works better because of the supporting role from Bruce Dern. I think he is just the best thing about this movie. He's just so likable. He comes off as being this likable dick that you just kind of want to like. And you're not supposed to take the movie serious. It's dark, yes. The girl scene is extremely dark, and it might scare some little children. Children might be a little scared of that scene, but come on. The movie's it's a PG-rated film. I'll have all the stuff on the very bottom of the video description. So, yeah, the Burbs alternate ending is just wow. Talk about fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Tom Hanks Comedy Favorites collection. So the movie I did watch, like I said, I did watch The Burbs. That's the movie I watched. So this also includes Money Pit and Dragnet. Dragnet I've seen before. I will talk about that when I do review the film. When I will cover the movies later on in the year. Money Pit is definitely new. I've seen part of Money Pit, but not the whole way through. Like I said, I wanted to do The Burbs since I didn't review Burbs. Maybe I did. I don't know. But, yeah, I wanted to review that. And Dragnet I've seen before. I just didn't review it. Maybe I did. I don't know. You have to check back on the channel. But, yeah, this is, the blurb on the back. I'm going to read the blurb on the back because it's super short. Ray Peterson, which is Hank's character, is not just a normal guy living in a normal neighborhood. Or so he thinks. Until he spends a week at the home next to his new, very strange next-door neighbors. So yeah, this movie is actually not that long. It's actually, honestly, it's an hour and 46 minutes, but it's swooped by very fast. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cover art. I do like this. I had this collection for years, but I remember my mom buying this at Walmart when it just came out, and she was like, "I gotta have the Burbs." She got this for the Burbs. I want to see Dragnet, but after watching the Burbs, I had a friend in grade school who his mom was a big fan of this movie. And yeah, there's not really much on here. It is a double disc. So we got disc 1, which is Money Pit, and then we got disc 2, which has the Burbs and Dragnet. And I did watch The Burbs, which was on this. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I can mention. I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'm going to get straight away to the final verdict. So anyways, final verdict. Should you see The Burbs? Yes. Do I need to say anything else? Please see The Burbs. It is one of the greatest comedies. It's one of the greatest dark comedies. It's a fun Tom Hanks film. Like I said before, the cast just did an incredible job. I forgot how good this was. And this was actually, note this was the first Universal film to start off 1989. And I think when they did that movie for the studio, I think that was a good idea to make this the first movie for the new year, which was 1989. So yeah, I think I mentioned everything about it, but just, I'm sure everybody's seen it. I can go on and on and on and talk about like how good the acting is. The whole cast is good. Like I said, Rumsfeld just, he's crazy, crazy, crazy. And that's what I love about this movie and just how fun this movie is. So if you haven't seen The Burbs, do yourself a favor, go check this movie out. There's a Shout Select which has the making of and commentary, but unfortunately I only have this alternate ending, which I'm cool with that. I think the alternate ending is the best special feature. It's kind of too bad Joe Dante didn't use that alternate ending, though, in the film. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, it was written by Dana Olson. He's actually forgot to mention the score. Jerry Goldsmith actually did the score for this movie. And I gotta say, he did an awesome job. It has this sort of vibe, again, that sort of, I kind of wish James Horner would have did the score for this. But whatever, it's a good score regardless. I think the movie is fun for what it is, but it might not be for everybody. I'm still recommending it. Just go sort out this film, go check it out. Whatever means to check it out, just watch the movie. So yeah, that is my review of The Burbs. If you do like the content I put on the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell, do all that good stuff, and just go watch The Burbs. If you haven't seen the movie, you're doing a disservice to yourself. If you want to see Hanks at his best, and I think it's just that good, The Burbs will entertain you just like that. So, I'm out. And that's it. So anyways, and like I always say, guys, as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.